on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Proud to be a Cumulus media station, even if they're not that proud of us.
7 a.m. in the morning, she's 7 o'clock in the morning.
Just like down.
Now,
It's 7 a.m.
it's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico.
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Cinco de Mayo. May the 5th be with you. Oh, no, that doesn't work that way. Happy Cinco. What's up? Suns are good. Chris Paul's really good. Sixers are in trouble. And it's good to be back. Happy, whatever, what day's Cinco? Thursday? Yeah, that's what it means. Thursday. Happy Thursday to you. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, opening drive on 95.9 FM. AM 610, the sports animal. Phoenix takes a 2-0 lead. Miami takes a 2-0 lead. And both of those teams look destined to end these in relatively short series, would you say? Good morning to you.
Good morning.
How you living?
How
You
are
all right?
you?
A little blurry, but I'm all right. It's been a whirlwind week. Tons going on. Not quite like going to, the draft or anything and getting married, but not nearly that exciting. But you look the same married, by the way. You don't look much different from my angle here.
Really?
I'm just sitting where
It's
I sit.
been 4 days. Let's give it a little time.
You still married?
Yep.
All right.
Still married.
All right. How was the week?
It was great. We
Yeah?
missed you.
No, you didn't.
Why not?
Were we over here yesterday?
Yeah.
So you didn't miss
And
me.
Bobcat.
It's kind of nice when I'm not here. You can come over
That's
here.
not
You
true.
don't have to listen to the people in your ear all morning.
No.
No.
We want to hear about your trip.
No. There's nothing to tell you. I mean, I didn't get married or anything, which is good. How was the week for you? Everything good?
Yeah.
All right. Bradbury spoke yesterday. You were at his conference. Sounds like he's excited, like every coach is after they fill the roster out. With
Excited for summer vacation.
is that where's he going? Did he tell you?
Not sure.
I don't want any of you near me. Go. I'm leaving. Leave me alone. I'm done. Here's my press conference so I can bounce. School's out and I'm out of here.
School's out for summer.
Yeah. All right, Suns last night. Chris Paul goes nuts in the beginning of the fourth quarter, took over the game. Devin Booker's terrific. As much Luka as you want, it feels like you can have as much Luka as you want. That's going to be kind of the way Phoenix says, because there's nobody else that you've got that can beat us. And it was really interesting listening to Phoenix sports talk the last couple of days. I mean, they're talking, it's a sweep, and they got Luka. There's no way Dallas could beat this team, right? I mean, they love that team out there, and they should. It's a team that got to the finals last year that has a pretty good idea how to win, not at the highest of highest levels, but working their way there. Devin Booker looks to be just fine. Chris Paul's fine. They get a little DeAndre Ayton when they need some DeAndre Ayton, and they opened up in the fourth quarter, no matter how tight it was, through three, and put the hammer down. 129-109 in a game for three quarters. It was way closer than that.
Dude, Ayton scored 9 points in 18 minutes.
Yeah, but I think he's a difference in this in the series. I get it, not necessarily last night. It's when they want him. In game one, I thought he was really good.
And I'll keep saying it.
Yeah.
Juggernaut. The Suns are the best team in the Western Conference.
Okay. And they may be.
Like-
They very well may be. They're the one seed.
It's pretty simple. They're just like, you know what? We're good. We're going to run it back. These players are going to be better. Chris Paul is still going to play at an unbelievable level.
Yep.
I can't wait for that matchup against the Golden State Warriors. I still think Golden State's going to prevail in that series. And you see it last night, what Chris Paul and Devin Booker did. Their stat line combined, 58, 10, and 12 with 5 turnovers. So your two ball-dominant guards the entire game, only shooting the basketball over 5 times. What they did in the fourth quarter, outscoring Dallas 40-26. The Mavericks shot 42% from 3 and got blown out.
By 20, yeah, and still got beat by 20 because they got to find it somewhere else, and I don't know where it's coming. And Brunson's got to be better, and people expect him because he had a good first round. You got to remember, I think he scored 16 points a game this year. I mean, that's who he is. He's not that guy. They don't really have a consistent number 2. They have somebody who will come up tonight and somebody will come up tomorrow. They have guys capable of doing it in games, but not per game. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they are a roster that is getting shredded by the best team in the Western Conference.
Yep.
They would beat the Jazz. They could probably beat the Memphis Grizzlies. It'd be a much closer series. The Phoenix Suns are a different level.
Yeah.
Like these other guys, as you said, good in the other series. You're playing the best team in the Western Conference. They're going to make you look like
I think there's a reason, first of all, that they're the 1 seed, boys and girls. I think that potentially because they were down for so long, that there was an inclination, there was a thought amongst some, and I don't believe this to be the majority, but I think amongst some, to think that maybe they weren't for real. All right, but yeah, then they went on this run and they became the best team in the NBA. They had the best record all season in the NBA. They were the 1 seed, but by far. Well, yeah, that's cute, but what? I mean, to your point, but what? I'm going to stay on the Warriors just because that's where I went a couple weeks ago, and I'll stay on the Warriors to get through. It won't stun me if the Suns get through. To your point, are they the best team? Constructed the most, and I think you said it the other way, the most conventionally or the most traditionally, right? The way they're constructed, which is fine. That can still work, although the modern NBA tends to go a different way. But that's great. You've got a point guard who is as good as we've seen in this century, who at times could go on a scoring streak, even though he's 37, 38 years old. You've got a young superstar. Edward sent me a text yesterday that said Luka Doncic is inarguably the best player on the floor. I don't know if it's inarguable. He may be. Devin Booker's pretty damn good. Devin Booker's pretty freaking good. And then you throw in all the pieces that they've got around it, and whether it's Bridges or Crowder or Craig or whoever comes off the bench, whatever night it happens to be, and DeAndre Ayton, I'm not arguing with you that they're the best team in the league. I'm going to stay with Golden State because that's where I went a couple weeks ago, and I know they're in a series, and it's 1-1, and they got beat 2 nights ago. But I'm with you, and the way they construct the team is pretty impressive too.
And look at someone like Devin Booker, who has been in the league 7 years. But when he came out after 1 year at Kentucky, he went through some terrible seasons
with bad teams.
With Phoenix,
with bad teams.
They were bad.
He was good.
He had a 70-point game.
He was good. The team was bad.
Yes, but that's what where I was going with that is for him to stay the course, because someone of that talent, when it's been 7 years, even when you get to year 3 or 4, you're playing that well. Yeah. There wasn't, Devin Booker's hitting the market. Devin Booker wants to go here. He stayed the course, and then they started to hit some home runs around him. DeAndre Ayton, you look at Mikal Bridges. They drafted those pieces. They bring over Chris Paul to solidify it all. And you look around, Luka Doncic could be the best player on the floor, but they got work to do. And the Phoenix Suns are just that far ahead of Luka Doncic. We've seen it. Luka Doncic is Nikola Jokic is insert superstar here that's looking for some help. Yeah, no, he's terrific. And hopefully for him in the offseason, somebody wants to go play with him in Dallas and can play with him, because he is a ball-dominant, ball-stopping. It gets to him, the ball stops, it doesn't move. I mean, it's going to have to be the right person, the right piece to go over there. And that's another conversation, because he is that good. I'm not telling you that he's not the best player on the floor. I just don't think it's inarguable. Because I think Devin Booker's pretty damn good. Now, you may tell me you'd start a team with Luka if you were to play that game, and who would I take number one? Fair. But Devin Booker's pretty stinking good, too. The way they were constructed is right. Do you think Devin Booker sticks around for 7 years and 5 years of being really bad if he's in Minnesota or Milwaukee or Indiana, right? I mean, the market, don't you think the market helped too? He's living in Phoenix, living in Scottsdale, wherever he's living, living a pretty good life. All right, we're going to get better. We're going to get better. We had people telling, look, we're drafting better. Believe in the process here, and it works. And we don't even have something called winter here. It's when everybody comes down from all those cold states, you'll see a lot more people with gray hair. They come down here. And snowbirds. No, it's the truth. Well, that's how it is. All right, they're really good. They're really good. I want your thoughts on them. The other game last night, Jimmy Butler was good. Tyler Hero was good. And without Joel Embiid, the Sixers can't.
they can't beat the Heat. 119, 103, the 1 seed. Again, the one's a very quiet 1 seed in the East. I'm not sure you would have guessed it in 3 guesses if you didn't watch the standings, if you didn't know. Well, no. The defending champion, the Bucks, are the 1 seed. No, they're not. Oh yeah, the Nets were the 1 seed. No, they were the 7th. They're out. Oh, Boston. That's right. No, Miami Heat is the 1 seed.
In the Eastern Conference, there's 3 teams, Miami, Boston, and Milwaukee, that can look like the best team in the Eastern Conference. Miami is more consistent, but they're also the one that they have the easiest path because that's what you get when you're the 1 seed. There shouldn't be any trouble. Even with Joel Embiid in this series, Miami's winning it.
I think so too.
Maybe it takes them an extra game or 2, but they're still winning the series because they're that good. And the difference, as we talk about it, just the level of player. Like, there's no way you can make up for Joel Embiid. Like, it's like losing Jimmy Butler. Yeah. You have a little bit different feel in this series.
Well, what were we feeling with Phoenix when Devin Booker was down and we didn't know how long he was going to go down?
What could happen?
Right? I mean, you wouldn't tell me that Phoenix is the best team in the West if Devin Booker was still down.
Devin Booker wasn't playing.
Right.
No.
Right.
So they were the underdogs, and then it was impossible because they cannot win this series without Joel Embiid.
20 points for James Harden on 6 for 15 shooting, 34 out of Maxey and 21 from Tobias Harris last night. Those are your 3 Sixers in double figures. After that, you had 8 points off the bench, and then you had 6 points from DeAndre Jordan, who's played 13 minutes but continued to start. As Doc Rivers has taken a lot of heat, and this may be the end of the road for him there. It's hard to blame a guy for getting beat in a series by the 1 seed when your best player, your MVP candidate, is out, but I think that's consensus now. Is Doc's fighting for his job, and it may not work. It didn't work. The trade. I don't know who won the trade. I guess you got to say Sixers win the trade because they're still playing and they got a guy who's playing and Ben Simmons isn't. And now he may need back surgery, which is a whole nother issue.
He is getting back surgery.
Yeah, and that's all. Why did they tell us?
And he's out till September.
Why would they tell us that at the beginning? And why did they wait? He didn't play. Why did they wait till the end? Like, why didn't that happen? Was this something that they were hoping he could play through and then have it at the end? If they just said, look, he's probably going to need back surgery and he's dealing with a mental illness, and I think the whole court of public opinion would have gone, oh, okay, well, that's different. As opposed to, well, his back's bad, but he's okay and he's going to play in game 4. Oh, they lost. Now he's not going to play. He's soft. He can't play. He quits. Everything he went through. Why wouldn't they have crafted that message, that narrative, way, way better than the way they butchered it?
It's a great question because I'm not sure even the Nets know what is going on in this.
Well, wouldn't that be on Clutch, his representation?
Yes.
I think there's going to be a lot of people looking around, even in that Nets organization, going, what did we just get into? Like, how did it get to this point where they wanted to give Ben Simmons the benefit of the doubt? Because I do not believe that like Philadelphia tried to cover anything up in this, because that just puts you in a terrible position moving forward. It gets you in a bad spot, even if you're trying to get out of Ben Simmons' contract. So to me, it just comes right back down to Ben Simmons. Who are you having an honest conversation with anyone?
Fair.
Like, is this?
Don't we do physicals when we make trades before guys come over? Don't you do?
They knew he was injured.
Well, did they? And they knew it was a back injury. Did they not do what they needed to do?
And who won this trade? Well, I guess
it's got to be Philly. They got a guy who's playing.
They got a guy who's playing.
They're still going.
But
they
then
lost Steph Curry. They lost
got
Andre Drummond.
Old James Harden with the player option. You can't extend that, man.
How about?
But he's got a good friend as a general manager. I don't think there is a winner of this trade right now.
And on trade day, we thought they both won. Yeah. Right? We looked at, wow, okay, here's finally the deal that both teams come out. They both win. They both got rid of what they needed to get rid of. They both got what they needed. We got 2 winners. Wow, this never happens. And now here we are sitting here on Cinco de Mayo and saying they both lost.
They just exchanged problems and solved them.
Yeah, they both. It sounds like divorce. They both lost. Everybody's miserable. Okay, it worked out well. 505-246-0610 is how you get here today. Come play radio with us. I missed you. I want to talk to you. 505.
Oh, the people miss you, Jeff.
Yeah,
we'll miss you, Jeff. When you're not here, they don't call.
That's hardly.
Oh, yeah, open that text line.
Oh, no. I'm not open the text line, but you can send me text or JJ text or A. Marie text at 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimallabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. On the Twitter, it's _JJ Buck. And watch the show. Adrian is producing on ProView Networks. You can watch it on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM. Pretty simple, The OD in the AM. Give us a like over there, and you can drop us a message. You can watch us on Comcast Channel 26. When we come back, more NBA. We'll get through what happened. United with a 0-0 draw last night in California's capital. A lot of NIL talk. Boy, have I had a lot of NIL talk. Former New Mexico governor is involved in the Brittany Griner situation. The Kentucky Derby's coming up. Albuquerque High has a new coach. We got a lot to go through on Cinco de Mayo on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff.
So you got to sit in if the Topes don't play today? Is that how that works? Opening drive, good to be back. Sorry about my 1 day away. Actually, not.
Don't be sorry.
Nothing to be sorry about.
No. It was work. It was. Let me tell
Very
you.
excited to hear about this trip.
Well,
because it's a very interesting time in college athletics.
We're excited.
Are you?
Yeah.
This was an interesting trip. So I was in Scottsdale at the league meetings, in obviously there for the Mountain West, but the Pac-12 was there, the Big Ten was there, the Big 12 was there. It's an interesting scene, first of all, because at the resort in which it's held, there big outside lobby bars and it's a who's who, because the Fiesta Frolic, I'm sorry, it used to be called the Fiesta Frolic, the Fiesta Summit is going on, started yesterday. So all the coaches in college football were invited, but saw a lot about. I told you I met Mick Cronin, right? Did I tell you that? That's
yes.
Great. Yeah, it was like look in the mirror. That was. I went over to him.
The best thing is he didn't immediately go, nope. Don't see it. Don't know what you're talking about.
Had this smile.
Oh, yeah.
He was actually really cool. And I felt I walked up. He was with Dana Altman, and it was just cool. I was with one of my buddies, and he's like, "There's your doppelganger," and I had to do it. Right? When am I going to get this opportunity in this setting? Like I could go to the Pac-12 tournament and do it. That doesn't work there. This was the setting in which to do it. Right? Everybody's sitting around.
For a tip off, like, "Yo, Mick, it's me."
Can I do your job tonight? Nobody will know. Let me borrow your suit. Nobody will know the difference. No, I mean you're sitting around and everybody's got a cocktail in their hand, so it's okay. But so I spent some time with Mike Locksley. Actually had a nice conversation with him. Mike's in a good place, just got extended, with everything Mike's been through. And I know how so many of you feel about Mike, but got to spend some time with him, which was cool.
Ask him why he still blocks me on Twitter.
I did not ask him that. No, I didn't.
Dang,
I
JJ.
didn't even know he blocked you on Twitter. He blocks you on Twitter?
He blocked a lot of
really
New Mexico people on Twitter after he left.
Yeah, no,
people are tough on JJ on the Twitter.
They are. Why is it?
I don't know.
You
You're such a likable person.
If people only knew that, right? I mean, there aren't many more likable people than him.
I know.
I know. Spent it's a lot of time with just conversations, and I will tell you that the conversation that recurred is the NIL thing, and I'm seeing who wrote this story. On ESPN, because everybody was there. Nicole Auerbach from the Athletic was around and spent some time. Brett McMurphy's been on our show, hasn't he? I know he has.
No.
Yeah, when he broke the Ryan, was it the Ryan? The Ryan Day. I'm thinking Ryan Day because I saw Ryan Day. He was in front of me checking in.
I think
the Urban Meyer story.
He wants to be. I don't know if I actually ever had him on.
Yeah. Well, he wants to be. He's like, here, you have my number. I mean, and so. We'll reach out and we'll have him on. He'd be really good on this topic. And maybe after the spring meetings, who would you say, when it comes to college football writers, now Jerry's a different kind of a guy. Jerry Palm comes on with us. He's not the investigative sniffing for story writer, right? Like Dennis Dodd.
Yeah, he's the
Brett
game like Jerry, game previews, bowl projections.
Yeah.
And then you get Brett McMurphy, Jason Dodd, Pete Thamel, other guys like that to do some of the hardcore
Nicole
stuff.
Auerbach.
Nicole Auerbach
Yeah.
is really good at it. I'm interested because still reading some of these stories, it still feels like they don't know where to start. So what were you hearing?
So it's exactly right. And when I read the story that Heather Dinich and Adam Rittenberg wrote this morning on ESPN.com, where it starts off and it says SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey and Pac-12 Commissioner George Kliavkoff will meet with United States senators in D.C. on Thursday to ask for legislative help surrounding name, image, and likeness. When you've got two of the Power 5 commissioners going to Congress saying we need help, which is, to me, the antithesis of everything that college athletics is. Haven't we always heard, leave Congress out of this? Let us legislate ourselves. Let us figure this out, right? Isn't that what, forever? When was the last time you can recall, hell, any sports entity, let alone college athletics, going to Congress saying, hey, give us more legislation?
Because they just got destroyed in the courts, which is why they have to go back and say, hey, how can we figure this out? Because you just kind of told us that this whole amateurism athletic model is illegal. But now how do we figure this out into what this model is supposed to look like? Because there's no one right now, whether it's these schools, even conference commissioners, university presidents, that can say, hey, this is what we're doing with NIL if it is outside people coming in offering money for services.
I didn't speak with anyone. Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't anybody who is just loving the way it is right now, okay? Everybody I spoke with acknowledged, shook their head, and it goes back to, and I said this to a number of people. I spent some time with one coach and his wife after the reception on Tuesday night, and when I said, he said, well, they got it, and I said, who is they? That, to me, that's the biggest issue. Who is they? And that's what she said. Oh my God, that's right. Who is they? And she kept saying it over and again. Who is going to regulate this? And now with these two commissioners going to Congress, going to senators to try to figure it out, Kliavkoff said, and he's the Pac-12 commissioner, he said, quote, I've been invited to meetings with several senators to discuss the issues we're seeing with name, image, and likeness and with the existential threat of our student athletes being deemed to be employees. And there was so that's one of the solutions. People said, well, maybe there'll be employees and there'll be a contract. Maybe there'll be another entity in which they'll be affiliated with the university. So, for instance, in this one, everybody always goes to this one. And maybe the first person who said this used Oregon, but it would be like Oregon Ducks LLC. And the players will be employees of Oregon Ducks LLC. And I'm like, are the presidents going for this? This is an extension of the academic institution. Our president's going to say, okay, athletics can be their own business. They can use our marks. They can use our name. They can use our campus. But they have their own set of rules. You think all these college presidents are going to go for that?
Not all of them.
I'm going to tell you, I think very few of them. Yeah. And so there's more. I want to get more into this conversation. I know this has been dominant lately, but it was kind of my world the last couple of days, and it is such a big, complicated, and the rate at which it accelerated. What are we, a year into this? Not even a year into NIL? When did it start? Inside a year ago, right?
It has not been that long.
And the way it has accelerated the amount of money, and it's affecting everybody, and I keep going back to the text that you got from Heather Dyke on Monday. And I mentioned it to it was a TV executive I was talking to on Monday afternoon when I got there, that we got this text. We're not talking about the football coach in New Mexico. We're not talking about TCU. We're talking about the women's soccer coach at the University of New Mexico says she lost 2 recruits because of NIL, and he kind of looked at me like, huh? I'm like, that's kind of where this has reached to, and it's just starting. 505-246-0610. 888-922-0610. I'll hit this a little bit more when we come back. I certainly want to get into the hoops more last night as well, and what Ryan Tannehill had to say. You guys talk about Ryan Tannehill yesterday?
We did.
Yeah.
You did?
I'm kind of curious where you are on that. Hit the open road this summer. Finance your next vehicle with Kirtland Federal Credit Union, and you can get all kinds of great rates. If you're looking to buy a car, competitive rates, unbeatable service, Kirtland Federal Credit Union can help you drive away in the vehicle you want with payments with which you can live. Looking for a new home? Kirtland Federal Credit Union will help you there as well. Choose from a wide variety of mortgage programs and partner with a team of friendly and knowledgeable mortgage experts. Happy with the home you have? You just want to upgrade it a little bit? Turn the value of your home into cash. You can use that for home improvements, upgrades, more. Check out what they've got in the home equity lines. And if you're planning for retirement, investing for retirement starts with Kirtland Federal Credit Union's financial services. Talk to an advisor today. Start walking the path to a confident future. Banking made easy. Save time, save money with free tools from Kirtland Federal Credit Union, because banking should be easy, from mobile banking to 30,000 nationwide ATMs to e-statements and security and online banking and bill pay. Stop by any branch or visit them online. It's kirtlandfcu.org. That's kirtlandfcu.org. Membership eligibility required. See your representative for complete membership details.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit CarCrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated, with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
And AM 610, the sports animal.
All right, we're not going to make this a whole NIL show, but herein lies the issue. And I'll read you this quote again from George Kliavkoff, the commissioner of the Pac-12. He said, quote, either the NCAA is going to get its act together in enforcing this, or I am going to be pushing for a smaller group to figure out how to create and enforce the NIL rules that we all agree on related to inducement and pay for play. The amount of an NIL payment, this is it right here, the amount of an NIL payment should be commensurate with the work done as a backstop to make sure we're not using it related to inducement and pay for play, end quote. Basically, what has happened already is it is a recruitment tool.
Yeah.
And it is pay for play. It is, and you can, how do you determine market value? What I'm giving you $200,000. Well, they're giving me $250. All right, I'll give you $275. What do I have to do? Well, I'll just throw out a few tweets. What are they doing for this money? Because the intent of NIL was you were making money on your name, image, and likeness. You were endorsing a product by being in a commercial, by using your social medium, by not.
It can be as simple as just
one tweet,
a few tweets. Hashtag it. We'll use your photo on some of the stuff we put out there.
Yep.
And
because what is market value? Market value is what I pay you, right? If I think you're worth $300,000 for 2 tweets, then that's what the market value is, and I'm willing to give it to you. And therein lies the real issue they're trying to regulate.
And it's impossible for this not to be a part of the recruiting process. Like it was, as you said, this was still supposed to be, you can't use it to recruit, but once it's out there, how does it not become part of the conversation? Like it's impossible to have NIL and then not have it be a part of an athlete's decision of where they're going.
And here's what's really tricky about this is the schools have been told, right, you're not involved in this. This is NIL. This is outside. Now, every school's got somebody externally that's working with the student athletes and working on NIL. But realistically, the coach can't say, I got $300,000 for you, or I got $1 million, or I got $20 for you, right? And that's where the frustration I was sensing this week. The athletic, when I ask you again the question, who is they? And George Kliavkoff is saying, I'm pushing for a smaller group. That would be who they is, right? That would be they. But right now, the NCAA is kind of washing their hands and walking away from it, right? The schools, the athletic directors, the coaches have been told, well, you can't do anything about this. This can't come from you. This isn't, because that would be money. That would be pay for play money. So I ask you, who is they? And that's what he's pushing for.
Would it be better if the schools were involved?
I don't know. I mean, do you think it would be?
Because it,
as a police enforcement, you know where that goes. I mean, that's you can see where
you're already losing players to NIL deals when it's not supposed to be a part of the recruiting process. And with the direction the NCAA is going right now, there's no enforcement. Like there are rules being broken left and right in this. But I don't think anyone wants to be too aggressive because the NCAA has lost everything in court, which is why we go back to what you just brought up. They're asking for some direction in this.
Congress, for crying out loud.
What are we supposed to do? Because you said this monopolizing the workforce, but then are they going to be on contracts?
Right.
I just
no all of that. But so if you do this happens. But if I don't, then this happens. So if I do that, then this. It's everywhere you look. Now this toothpaste is out of the tube. You ever try to put toothpaste back in the tube?
You can't.
I don't even know how they get it in, man. They got to have a little gun. I kind of want to go to a toothpaste factory one time and just see how that works.
I could get the jelly in the middle of the donut.
I never thought about that.
I guess
ever.
it's probably not that hard. There's probably a little gun with a little nozzle.
I'm going to the Google machine.
Yeah, it's probably not that hard. But you can't do it without your little toothpaste filling gun. Where do you go? And the conversation, like usually we have these issues, right? And you and I think we're smart enough, or at least I do, that here's what they should do. I don't even know what I think they should do, JJ. This has happened so quickly, and it's such an extreme. And I say extreme, but a year from now we're going to go, that was nothing, right? Because it's going to continue to accelerate. Who legislates it? I do think something will happen, because the overwhelming majority, the way I gauged it, all right. Now I didn't sit down with Nick Saban. I didn't see any, Greg Byrne, their athletic director. I didn't see Clemson, Texas A&M. I saw Bob Stoops, didn't talk to him about this. Right, but Texas, Chris Del Conte was there, didn't really have the where does he feel from Texas? But I do know the overwhelming majority says something's got to be done, something's got to be reeled in, and so I do think something will happen. What do you think Congress says? I mean, we got enough going on. I got inflation at gas prices in Ukraine and China and North Korea. All right, but let's work, because I got some kids getting paid. They got time for this mess?
What is wild to me is how many student athletes are apparently getting some piece of the pie.
How big the pie is.
Yeah.
505-246.
Good on them.
Yeah,
if you're the student athlete and everyone's coming down and you either say, college athletics is broken, this is breaking, this and that, and you're just like, hey, I'm just here doing what I'm able to do at this moment in time before it all goes away.
Yep. The only person, Ryan says, that comes to mind that did something for it was Clemson's DJ Uiagalelei for Dr. Pepper, nationwide commercial for them. Well, I don't know if that's the only person. I mean, I'm sure there's other people doing local commercials.
Yeah, a lot of it is localized.
Tweeting and whatever.
Heck, you see Terry Wilson on a ProView commercial for a local roofing company still.
Jeff just sent me an article saying there's a BYU booster who's now paying walk-ons to go to BYU, and they don't have to do any marketing. So that's really bending the rules.
Yeah.
It's in it's in the what paper is this? In the Miami County Republic, and they show his picture. He's paying walk-ons, and they're getting involved with helping athletes with the NCAA rule. 36 walk-on football payers, he paid their tuition. Is that a breakthrough, or is that a problem? See where it's going? 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Need to hire? Need in.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All about Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Identity, you have none. What's your personnel look like?
95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
All right, let me read this to you real quick because this is something that's interesting. So the story in the Miami Republic on BYU, you could be sitting there saying, so who cares if a guy's getting paid? It doesn't matter. All right, right now there's an 85 scholarship limit per football, right? Every school gets 85 scholarship players. And there's a push. I've heard everything this week from pushes to unlimited scholarships to another year of eligibility, like across the board, period. Now you get 5 years of eligibility because they're going to be employees or whatever. I mean, I've heard all kinds of stuff. If you get a booster sponsoring 36 scholarships, you now have, 85, 95, 105. You got 110, 111 scholarships. Isn't that a huge advantage for you? This says Built Brands is a company that produces protein bars, and energy products, JJ. They announced this deal, an NIL agreement with BYU. The compensation package is for all members of the Cougars football team. The package helps scholarships as well as walk-on players. So there's 36 walk-on players. There'll be a few that'll be good ones. And the program calls for, and this is where I really don't understand it, the players will wear Built, that's the company, Built branding on their practice helmets and participates in events for Built. All right, so how's the school not involved then? If all of a sudden on their helmets, that's how they're fulfilling their NIL deal. Well, the school's directly involved then, right?
Yes.
And with all due respect to the coverage that BYU practices must get, what is built getting out of a sticker being on a practice? Not a game. We're not talking about a game. Practice. We're talking about practice. Not a game. Practice. What do they get out of having a sticker on a practice helmet?
I got to believe we went to BYU at some point in time.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so,
but that's what we're dealing with. Hello, Derek. How you? What's up, Derek?
Hey, it's been a while. How's everything going?
Life's grooving, man. Welcome back.
Hey, yeah. First off, I'm just looking forward to the Duke City Gladiators making their trip here to Vegas here in a couple weeks to take on the Nighthawks.
Hopefully they don't lose by a blocked field extra point or something. Man.
Yeah, it's same thing up here, but it's really neat arena, really nice arena, and
is that the one, the new one, where the Big West just held there in Henderson, the new 6,000 seat arena? Yeah, I heard it was beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's lack of concessions, which was kind of weird for a brand new stadium or arena, but no, it's real nice. So looking forward to seeing Jason Serta, who I coached at Manzano. So looking forward to seeing him again. But as far as the NIL, when it first came out, I think we all were kind of on board. If little Billy, the quarterback, could go down to the local car dealership on a Saturday and sign some autographs when they're having a sale or this or that.
Intent. Yeah.
It's gonna. Look how quickly it just snowballed and got out of control. I mean, it's going to be to where you're going to almost have three levels of FBS football. You're going to have of course the smaller guys, the Mountain West teams, the Conference USA teams, and then you're going to have the super teams, the teams that have almost unlimited resources as far as boosters and money, the Oregons, the Texases, the Ohio States of the world. And then somewhere in the middle, you're going to have those, lower middle tier Power 5
so you think
teams
there's
that
going to
maybe
be
don't
three?
have.
You think there's going to be three segments as opposed to two?
I
don't know that you're wrong. Because
I
think the schools like Washington State and Iowa State are going to be closer to New Mexico than they are going to be to Washington and Texas.
Yeah. There's going to be. I think you could very well might see like a 20 or 30 power conference, if you will, with those teams that do have these extremely deep pockets. Because how even in the Power 5, how is an Iowa State, Arizona, Kentucky, Missouri, or Vanderbilt? How are they going to be able to
That's right.
They can't really do it now. If this NIL money gets out of control, how are they going to compete then? But then again, the New Mexicos and the San Jose States of the world really can't compete with the Iowas and the Nebraskas of the world right now. So I could absolutely see like maybe three levels. So
it's interesting.
Guys, have a great day.
See ya. So we've long heard conversation of a split into two divisions. I don't see them splitting into three divisions, but there can certainly be three tiers, right? Because you can go through and pick your power league. There's the haves and the have-nots, right?
Yes, there is.
I don't know, the SEC. But, I mean, is Rutgers, even Nebraska, keeping up with Ohio State and Michigan? Is Utah and Arizona keeping up with Oregon and USC?
I think a lot of that, too, depends on what they're allowed to do. Because if they say, hey, schools can be a part of this to then help out, then those schools can keep up because they're getting that television money.
Yeah. No, it's insane. All right, 505-246-0610. If you want to get in on that, you can. You had a little bit of news this morning that you got the commissioners of the Pac-12 and the SEC, which I think is insanely significant, going to Congress and asking for help, going to senators and saying, hey, we need legislation. And I mean, you tell me the last time you heard a sports entity going to them and asking for help. Probably not a popular opinion around here, says my text, but what will be the real difference between the rest of the conferences and the FCS schools with the powers split to their own level? FCS? I mean, that's a whole nother level. All I know is every AD and every coach I talk to is at the same place, and everybody doesn't know what to do. There's no precedent. Let me ask you this: is college athletics better now? Do you like the direction in which it's going? I know there's some people who do. I know there's the Edwards who think that the world would be better if there's like 15 teams that can compete for a national championship every year. It's Texas and Oklahoma and Oregon and USC and Notre Dame and Alabama and Auburn and just the elite. I'm not of that belief. Are you?
I don't think that's tough. I'm gonna have to think about this one.
All right,
because I do like some of the things that have been implemented, but I do get where it's hard to see a direction.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't believe that it's better if I know every year there's 130 teams, but only 10, 15 of them have a chance. And it's the same ones every year because they have the resources.
How's that any different now than it was before?
I think it's more solidified now. And I'll tell you when we come back on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Even if they're not that proud of us.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Buck.
Hockey 2 was fun last night. The defending champions are back on the board. Tampa Bay Lightning were winners last night. 5-3 in Toronto to even that series. Carolina dominated Boston 5-2. They're up 2-0. Minnesota 6-2 over San Luis. That series is tied 1 apiece, and Edmonton rolled the Kings last night. 6 bagel up in Canada. Whatever. We went up and got one.
That's all you got to do.
When you're
get the road split.
Isn't that what they tell you? Go up and get a split and make it a series and come home? That's what the Kings did. Hoops last night. Phoenix 129-109 over Dallas. Suns, JJ says the best team in the West. I'm not sure I'm arguing with him. By 20, they're 2-0 up on the Mavericks, headed back to Texas. Miami beat up on Philly 119-103. The Heat have a 2-0 lead, headed back to Pennsylvania for Game 2 in that series. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. A. Maurice producing on the radio side. Adrian's got you on the television side. We've been talking about NIL. You're welcome to get in on that conversation if you would like. I want to hit the hoop at the top of the hour here, which is 8 o'clock when the hour hand, the big hand on the clock is pointing straight up. That would be the top of the hour. Phoenix in a dogfight last night, and all of a sudden the fourth quarter starts, and if you flipped over to catch the beginning of the news or the hockey at 10 o'clock or whatever and flip back, you missed Chris Paul starting the fourth quarter, going 6 for 6. He scored 20 of his 28 in the fourth quarter, and he took over that game. Devin Booker was terrific, and the Suns ran away and hid from the Dallas Mavericks.
To me, this is more about how good Phoenix is as opposed to Luka not having any help.
Well, it's both.
Because I just watched a Dallas team that was pretty good throughout the regular season.
Yep.
That took apart a Utah team. And then all of a sudden, it's going to be the narrative that Luka doesn't have any help. No, this is all about Phoenix. Phoenix, across the board, is good defensively. They can be great offensively. Chris Paul, Devin Booker last night combined 58 points, 5 turnovers.
So is Luka not have any help? I know you don't. That's not the big headline to you, but it's at least the sub-headline, isn't it?
It is.
Okay.
Do the Mavericks need to be better? Yes. It's just like Jokic, you get Jamal Murray back, you're feeling a little bit different. But to me, this is more about how good Phoenix is as opposed to all of a sudden.
I'm with you.
It's Luka by himself, and he carried this team to
So
that
does
record.
Luka not have help because the ball's always in his hand and it sticks? And they're a tough watch. That offense doesn't seem very fluid, and it feels like they've got better under Jason Kidd, and I understand it and I appreciate it. I'm fine with it, and if that's their style, but is the way he plays conducive to having somebody be the number 2 on a nightly basis, where as opposed to it's somebody who's capable of getting 30 one night, but not every night, or being consistent help because the ball is always in his hands and it sticks.
Yes, he's the point guard.
I got it, but it's a different kind of a point guard.
65
He's your point guard who scored
games
45
this season.
Yep.
He averaged the 5th most assists in the league.
Okay,
8.7
that's a good argument right there. No, that's. I mean, that's. I did not know
but
that.
This is
number.
also a series that Phoenix is absolutely fine with making it Luka Doncic or bust.
100% they are, because they're winning. You can have his 45.
And so they're just saying, we're taking away your role players that aren't able to step up to the level to compete against Phoenix like they could against Utah or if this was a Denver team on the other side. And life is very difficult in Luka Doncic right now.
The other series last night, Miami 119-103 over the 76ers. Jimmy Butler was good last night. Tyler Hero came off the bench. Bam Adebayo had 23, and another good performance by the best team that very few people talk about.
This is what you get being a number 1 seed.
If they get to the finals, does Eric Spoelstra finally get his due as a coach? I think he is the best coach that nobody ever talks about being a good coach. Nobody does. You'll tell me Pop and you'll tell me Doc Rivers before him. And you'll go through a litany of coaches, and what Monty Williams is doing in Phoenix is really, really good. It feels like he's got it figured out down there. And Eric Spoelstra's been doing it down there. He did it before LeBron was there. He's done it since LeBron's been gone. They built back up. Oh, look, LeBron's at home and Eric Spoelstra's still going. Remember the talk when LeBron got there? Oh, Spoelstra's got 1 year and then he's out and Pat Riley's going to find the guy and they're going to – no. Look who survived.
Because of Pat Riley.
Okay, but
he was the backbone that kept it together, which
100%, which makes him a pretty
Eric
damn
good that opportunity.
Which makes him a pretty damn good coach.
Yes. So I guess it's what conversations you get into, because in the basketball world, Eric Spoelstra was in that conversation. But it would be the national landscape that's tuning in for the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Those people finally realized, like, they were in the NBA Finals already. They lost to the
ago.
Lakers
2 years ago
in the bubble.
Yeah.
They don't. Eric Spoelstra doesn't have anything else to prove.
No, I agree with you. I just don't think he gets the love that. I mean, hell, Mike Budenholzer, I think, is a good coach, but I mean, you've got to make the argument that Eric Spoelstra is as good, if not better, right?
Yes, you do.
And I like Mike Budenholzer. Not trying to start a fight. Just saying. What did you guys make yesterday of the Gary Payton injury, the whole Dylan Brooks? Where'd that conversation go yesterday? Because that was a dirty hit.
Yeah, it was absolutely the right call, a flagrant 2. I think anytime.
Well, if you're going to throw Draymond out for what he did, then you had to do that.
That was, and anytime you're late coming from behind, it's not a play on the basketball. It's not. You do that wind up, contact through the head. It's even what we saw in the first round with Chris Paul. It's just Herb Jones didn't fall awkwardly. He just kind of came straight down. Everyone's like, oh, no, it's just a basketball play. But when you fall awkwardly, it's a reminder that is a very bad basketball play.
Well, I mean, it can be a basketball play and be dangerous. See, I struggle with some of it. Now, he had to be ejected for that. Like, precedent was set with what they did with Draymond. Dylan Brooks had to go. Okay, he had to. Like, there was no option on this. He caught the man on the head in the air, dangerous. Now, I will make an argument on a lot of these. I mean, look, the ball's in the left hand. We hear all the time, use your body to protect the ball, right? And so that's what he did, and you had to go through the body to get to the ball, and he hit the head. These things are happening at speed. It's like I say in football all the time. The head's got to go somewhere, right? Dirty play, dude's in the air, you're beat. I appreciate the competitiveness in the playoffs, and it's physical, but that was 80s basketball right there. Right,
yeah,
that's what we used to see in the 80s. That was Mikhail Rambis. That was Ben Wallace. That was Rasheed Wallace. That was 80s basketball. No, and that was commonplace then, which has now evolved into. And Steve Kerr is right. That was a dirty play.
It was. I think anytime you see that from behind, the shots, the guys going, oh, he's trying to make a play. No, you weren't. Like, they're professional athletes. When you wind up like that, going for the swing, it's not, it was a split-second decision. You're making that decision, and you know what you're doing because you're not anywhere close to the basketball.
And then when you get the head and you spin a guy who's in the air and he falls down, now look, I don't think he tried to break his elbow. I don't think he tried to hurt him. Steve Kerr talked about the code. Did Dylan Brooks break the code? I mean, kind of, right?
What they're trying to get away from is plays in the air.
Yeah.
Like that's what it's really all about. Like, if you are able to get there, body him up before he gets up, put him on the ground. Okay, it's the plays in the air that they really don't like. I think this series, it's actually good that there's a bit of a breather. I think the officials.
Are they off today?
They're not back till Saturday.
Dang.
They had 3 days off. I think it's one that needs to reset because I don't think it's been a dirty series. I think there's 2 plays that have been magnified.
2 ejections
in the series, but overall, I think it's good. I don't want everyone to be on edge because you look last night, and I think there's some questionable calls. The DeAndre Ayton flagrant was an absolute trash call.
See it.
He was there was a turnover, pass ahead. Ayton caught it. He was going to the basket.
Oh, I did see it. Yeah.
They called that a flagrant 1.
Yeah.
Like, so I think there's some things that you need to really figure out.
Well,
but
do you agree that the rules need to be
just because there's contact to the head?
That's my point. They're
like that Dylan Brooks play is so much different.
And thank you,
than
Adrian,
DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
And or even when Draymond Green got his face cut open.
So, yeah, that's a wind-up head. I mean, the ball's in the left hand. I can see his argument. I'm going for the ball. I had to go through the body, and I hit his head. JJ, you've played sports. Amory, you've played. The head is there. Basketball is a contact sport. People tell me it's not. Basketball, and Mike Danoff used to tell me all the time, and he's right. Basketball is a contact sport. Football is a collision sport. But basketball is a contact sport. And sometimes you get hit in the head, and basketball is. What was the play?
But he's giving the foul.
No.
He knows he's going to foul them.
Yeah.
In that situation.
Look, under the rules, that's a flagrant 2. Right call, dirty play, and not even specifically this particular play. Okay? How many times you see a guy offensively go up, make a basketball move, right, and his elbow, because the guy's right in his space, catches the guy in the mouth, and the offensive player gets called for a flagrant for going up, making a basketball play. I think there's just got to be some leeway where you tell me, look, man, it sucks that you got hit in the face or hit in the head, but that's the game. Your head's got to go somewhere. I go up to block a shot, my hand comes down, and I have to follow through. What goes up comes down. Isn't that what Newton told me years ago?
Yes.
And so my hand comes down, and it hits you like.
I think it's a lot different when you're contesting a player when you're in front and going for a block shot.
I'm down.
And so if you get hit in the face, all right, so be it.
I'm down with you on that.
I get where you're coming from. Like,
but you're saying from coming from behind, it's wrong.
Like that.
Yeah, the coming from behind, you're beat, guys in the air.
Try to swat.
Your chance of swatting that ball is about 1%, right? And especially swatting it clean is less than 1%. And now he puts the guy out with a broken arm. And Steve Kerr, the whole emotional piece on him. I mean, Gary Payton, he's right. Gary Payton's been toiling in this league for 6 years, finally found a spot where he belongs. He's contributing. He's making a difference. And now he gets hit in the air and he breaks his elbow. It sucks for him, and I get where Steve Kerr is. And I honestly, I really respect him going to bat for his player and calling out the other guy, especially with what happened to Draymond 2 nights ago. Like, I have no problem. I listened to national radio yesterday and Steve Kerr getting beat up for that. Hell no. That man went to bat for his player as I feel he should. But, JJ, the come from behind stuff, yes. It's the stuff internally. A guy turning, going up, and his elbow, he's making a basketball move, and you're guarding me, and you're in my space, and I elbow you on my way up to the basket in a 100% basketball move, and I bloody your face, and I get a flagrant for that? That's a basketball move.
There's ones that need to be handled better, especially what we saw DeAndre Ayton get called for, attacking the basket defender in front of him.
Kind of what I'm saying.
And then we saw it the other night where Giannis got called for an offensive foul just because he's bigger, but they didn't make it a flagrant foul. And so I think that's a problem too, is you can't call just everything to the head a flagrant.
It can't be.
The whole point of this is you're supposed to be able to, all right, if it's a flagrant situation, let's go back and look at it to make sure there's a difference between a common foul and a flagrant
100%. And look, there's a difference between a flagrant foul and a bummer.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bummer that you got hit in the face, man, but you're playing sports. Like, I remember when I was playing and I had braces, and I got hit in the mouth every freaking day. And I didn't I should have worn a mouthpiece back in the day. I didn't. And so what was I had braces from like 12 to 16 or something, so through high school. And my mouth was always cut up because I was always getting hit in the face playing basketball. That's just how it is. That and my fingers and I always had a black eye or something, or a scratch on my face. Like, that's.
I was told if you foul, make it count.
No, that's right, and I don't have a problem with that either. I had a good buddy, Freeze, in we used to play at murals. He would hammer guys, stand over me. I got 4 more, and they're all coming at you. And he would just stand over the dude.
I think there's a place to give fouls. That has evolved.
Yes.
If you think the game is soft, we'll go watch some hardwood classics, man. It's just the way it is. I think there's a difference between giving hard fouls in the air or getting someone in the lane before they get to that position.
Yeah, 505-246-0610. 888-922-0610. I would love your thoughts on that. I mean, what is a flagrant foul? Sometimes, do you watch it and just think, it's basketball for crying out loud? I understand what we're trying to do. Also, I want to hear your thoughts on Ryan Tannehill. Is it his job to mentor Malik Willis? I know you talked about it yesterday. I got thoughts on it. I think you do as well. It's the opening drive. Thank you for listening to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Hey, D.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Dream Style Stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit CarCrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable...
Just glad my key card worked and the code to get in still worked. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta. I guess I was only gone.
I was like, you're gone like...
Well, I was gone off one day, gone for... I feel like I was gone on this trip. This trip was a lot. Like, there was a lot on this trip. It's good a lot. Don't get me wrong.
But
really good a lot.
We did the show Tuesday together.
Yeah, no, we did the show Tuesday together, but I forgot about that. Because then I had to get up and I was like, okay, I gotta go. All right, Garcia says, banned by Loxley, LOL. Jeff was a young buck full of hot Lobo football takes back in those days that rubbed Mike Loxley the wrong way. I didn't even know you were blocked by Loxley.
He had just blocked everyone on his way out.
Okay. I don't think he blocked us.
Let me see here.
You're like
Let me do some research.
All right. Tell us who's in on Gary Payton Jr. Jeff, here are two legends that get up, brush themselves off, and the game continues. They weren't in each other's face. Oh, he sent me a YouTube clip. I gotta go look at it. They weren't in each other's face, trash talking, benches clearing, the announcers going wild. Let's look at someone. So if I click on this link, do you think it's going to be something from what decade do you think I'll look at?
80s?
You think so? It's the 80s. Yeah. Larry, it is a good hit, though. All right, watch Larry Bird. Look, what if this happened today? What if this hit? No, this is Larry Bird, and is that Isaiah? Larry Bird just rolls a guy. It was a linebacker hitting a receiver over the top. It was Bernard King. He hits Bernard King, and they just get up and they kind of look at each other. Oh, I got a little scrape. All right, let's play ball. All right, foul on 33 White.
Cool story.
Yeah, cool.
You drove around without your seatbelt today. Things are different.
And that's kind of where I was going with it, right? Cool story. It's how it was then, and tell us you're not wrong. Two legends, and Larry Bird. So he just sent me a clip. Larry Bird hit Bernard King like Lawrence Taylor would hit Jerry Rice coming over the middle, right? I mean, that was a football hit. Is that a linebacker with a receiver going over the middle? Okay, laid him the bleep out. Today, 2-game suspension. He's out the rest of this game in 2-game suspension. Series for that? Yeah, probably. I mean, at least 2 games, right? Laid him the bleep out, and they didn't stare at each other, didn't mean mug. The benches didn't clear. It's a different world. No, you're right, and it's different rules. It's just different. It's a different world in which you live. Garcia's in on Glenn Rivers. Jeff, where's he gonna be next season? Is he the next Lenny Wilkins? The next Del Harris, who just keeps getting recycled until he eventually coaches on every team in the NBA? It's really interesting on Doc. Doc won a championship. Will Doc be coaching the NBA next year?
Right now, Charlotte, Sacramento, Lakers are open.
Okay. I don't think he's going to any of those teams. Doc feels like the guy that they plug in. I got a team that's ready to win. But is he? Didn't work in L.A. Doesn't seem like it's working in Philly. It's so hard, though. I mean, he seems like a likable enough guy. I don't know Doc Rivers.
Like, they weren't winning this series with Joel Embiid.
But you're going to blame. You're going to fire him
out.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid.
No. Yeah. Rudy, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Life's grooving.
Yeah, Cinco de Drinko, right?
It is Drinko,
that's what I call it.
Drinko de Mayo. Yep.
So just a little friendly advice out there. Have a plan.
Yeah.
And
take a ride on us.
Yeah, and if you decide that, you don't have a plan, but you find yourself 3 sheets to the wind, please don't get behind the wheel of your car. Please.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm speaking against my own financial interest because it's what I do for a living, but I would rather be put out of business.
And if you're in trouble, call Rudy.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to get a shameless plug there, but thank you. Hey, I keep thinking about this women's basketball team next year, and I don't recall in the history of the program ever having so many local kids on the roster. I don't know if JJ's done any digging, but I think we have 5 local kids now.
JJ, I heard something that it's the most since like 2009. Is that right?
I would believe that.
Yeah.
Well, and not only that, I've watched these kids. They can play. I don't know if you saw Hannah Robbins win that 3-point shooting contest, national 3-point shooting contest, but she was nails. that kid can shoot.
So I'm excited for her. But I'm also as excited. I'm not gonna lie, to have Rob around a little bit and see him in the building and see him in Albuquerque a little bit. I'm kind of excited about that.
Absolutely. When he got the nickname Duke, somebody asked me why, and I said, just look at him. He walks like John Wayne. He almost has that little, look like John Wayne too. So that was the Duke, Luke and Duke, and those were some heady times. I remember out there at the Final Four in New York City, and we're there, and I'm staying right across the street from Madison Square Garden and Times Square, and we're living it up, right? And I look over, and there's Luke and Duke. I'm like,
awesome.
Don't you guys have a game tonight? They're like, yeah, but that's okay. We're only in New York City one time. So those guys were a pair.
Yep,
they really were.
Luke and Rob Robbins. Yep, that was a good pair. All right, no, appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for the time. And by the way, the whole J.J. Caldwell thing, this is why you don't kick kids off teams and do stuff like that, because he never got his due process, neither did the victim, and now the whole thing's over.
I didn't see what happened.
The case was dismissed.
Was it this week?
Yeah, there was all kinds of prosecutorial
and the young man never got to
and-
play. Yeah, so we'll never know.
No.
All right, thank you.
Take care.
J.J. Caldwell, of course, was the Lobo guard who was suspended during Paul Weir's final season, right? Was that his final season? No, the second season back, the season before COVID. Speech, good morning to you.
Hi, Jeff. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
I just want to say I agree with you. I think Eric at Miami is a very underrated coach. If you remember when LeBron was there, they won a couple championships, but they should have won a lot more. Mm-hmm. And I'm just saying, balancing LeBron and other two superstars' egos is a big problem. I mean, LeBron is out here in L.A., and he's kind of trying to run the whole show. He's basically run Frank Vogel out of the city, and I don't know. LeBron just has a big ego, and I don't know. I just want to say that handling that is a big problem.
You said it. Thank you, Speech. Be
Right.
well. Look,
Sure.
I don't know if I think they should have won more. I know a lot of other people think they should have won more. You point at the Dallas series where Dirk Nowitzki beat them, and I mean, it wasn't 3, not 4, not 5, not 6. It was
Maybe Eric
2.
Spoelstra isn't that good.
Yeah, maybe he isn't that good. He won. Didn't he win one before?
Who
was he the head coach when they won before? Was it
No,
it wasn't.
That was like 2006, 0506.
All right. So,
It worked out because you had Pat Riley backing Eric Spoelstra, so we're not playing these games with the head coach, and then Dwayne Wade is not like this. Of all these superstars like Kyrie, KD, like that's not Dwayne Wade.
When me.
He had
was-
won.
Yeah.
He was comfortable and confident in himself.
Yeah.
They meshed well, and Chris Bosh wasn't a superstar.
No,
Chris Bosh was
never
not a superstar.
I don't think and he's not a Hall of Famer either.
Like, he's a really good
He was
player.
a good player. He was a good piece.
That fit in well.
That's right.
But because they won,
it worked.
Everyone's like, "Oh, they had Chris Bosh too." Well, he was just an all-star from Toronto. It wasn't like Kevin Garnett in his prime joined them.
Chris Bosh was the luckiest dude that those guys liked him and dragged
And Chris
him along.
Bosh was ahead of his time because he became that stretch center, hitting threes,
He was fun.
in a defensive presence. He was really good.
No,
He was perfect fit for that.
You're right. Dwayne Wade yielded his team because and you said it the right way. He was so comfortable with who he was, confident enough with who he was on that team and in that city, right? That it was okay to bring in this young superstar. And while it was LeBron's team, it was really Dwayne Wade's team.
Yeah.
When push came to shove, when they needed leadership, it was still Dwayne Wade's team. Best player on the team was LeBron James. But
Dwayne Wade was Miami.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. We'll go back to the phones when we get back. I still want to get into the Ryan Tannehill conversation. We're going to talk about United as well. Their offensive woes continue. Boy, did they get a break yesterday, JJ? Like a big break. They didn't get a win, but they got a big break. Hey, we're in the warmer months now, active months, so you are moving more, you're doing more. Gentlemen, are you ready? Are you the best you? Guys, if you're not the best you can be, if you're tired too often, maybe dealing with hair loss or weight gain, depression, even erectile dysfunction, NuMale will help you if you make the call. NuMale has helped thousands of men all over the country with these exact things, these natural things. Call them at 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688 or visit NuMale, that's NuMale.com. The call, making that call, sometimes is the hardest part. Don't make it a hard thing to do. Don't make excuses. Just make the call. Once you do and you visit NuMale, you're going to realize the process is easy, it's comfortable, and it works. Guys, that's the best part about NuMale. It works. The results are real and men everywhere feeling better. The number is 505-652-1688. Enjoy being active. Enjoy being you again. Call NuMale at 505-652-1688 or visit NuMale.com and enjoy being the best you can be.
When we need it, for life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated, with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root number one. Cover it with green stuff. One scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough. Back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Draw last night in Sacramento. Jason, have they scored 1 goal in their last 4 matches? Is that correct?
Yes, including the. Well,
they haven't won since March 19th, and they got a break. We'll get into that in a little bit. I want to get Thomas in because he's been holding, and then we'll get into that conversation. Hello, Thomas. Let me do that again. Hello, Thomas.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How you living?
Not too bad. How about you guys?
Everything's good. What's up?
Not much. I'm just going to go back and revisit, you know, how you guys were talking about what is a flagrant foul nowadays.
Yes.
So, I mean, honestly, from, since I've been watching NBA, and I guess you guys can probably say the same thing if you stop and think about it, it's on a case-by-case basis, and it also depends on who's repping the game and who the player is. Over 19 seasons, we've seen LeBron James thrown out of the game maybe twice. So the fact remains the NBA is a entertainment. It is for entertainment purposes. And, a lot of the old-timers will say, well, the league was rougher back then and this and that. But, yes, they did get away with a lot more. But I still say the league is better than what it was.
Better in what way? Better
than what it was in the 90s. There's a lot better players now.
I would agree that they're deeper in skill set players, yes.
Yeah, and it's hard to guard any of those players. No one's guarding Kevin Durant. No one has an answer for Embiid. No one really has an answer for Curry. No one has an answer for LeBron. No one has an answer for Luka.
Thomas, I would argue with you. Nobody ever had an answer for Kareem. Nobody had an answer for Larry Bird. Nobody had an answer for Michael. Nobody had an answer for Magic. So I think the superstars, the elite, have always been elite and really hard to guard. I mean, I just watched.
You just mentioned about 20 years of NBA there.
Yeah.
Those specific grades.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot better players now. I mean,
yes, I agree with you. I totally agree with you that it's deeper and at a high talent level now than it was then. Yes.
Yes, and the fact remains that NBA games are controlled by referees, whether we want to admit it or not. I mean, who is it? Scott Foster. I mean, Chris Paul's won 1 game, maybe the last 14 that he's reffed.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Is that on accident? Is that coincidence?
considering Chris Paul's winning percentage in other games in the last couple of years has been pretty insane.
And
it's hard to
it's
ignore.
with Harden as well. So, I mean, you guys all know of Tim Donaghy.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep. Everybody knows that story.
If you read the book, and if you're a sports fan, I would highly recommend reading that book, especially if you're an NBA fan.
All right.
He'll go in and he discusses, I mean, you can say it was fake, but it makes sense. There's a reason why the referee assignments are not announced until 7 a.m.
As they shouldn't be. I think that's right. All right, no, Thomas, it's good stuff, and I appreciate the conversation because your points are good, and don't be a stranger. Thank you. He brings up good points. Referees control the game. He's right. What's a foul? And I agree with him, JJ. The NBA is deeper now, but I would argue, and I'm going to show you this highlight tape because actually I just ran across this, and it'll show you how great. Like just watch some of this.
Dude, the superstars.
Watch how great Larry Bird was because you don't appreciate it. But the superstars were always unguarded.
Superstars are fine. Like and then I think where it's just a different level of physicality. It's simple as that. It's like it was okay to put people on the ground, and they just don't have that as part of the game.
Yeah.
Like in hockey, they don't fight as much as they used to.
And I don't know, is the game better back then because you were able just to assault a dude? I mean, the Rambis, the Mikhail Rambis thing was filthy, but it was basketball. We just watched Larry Bird literally linebacker hit Bernard King, and the dudes got up. And today, I mean, the stands would have emptied if it was that hit, right? Larry Bird was pretty good, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was pretty good. The places would have gone mad. But it is different. I don't know what's better, man. You guys decide. And it's going to be, again, how old are you? My era is better than that era. But his point, the last caller's right. I mean, the game's so deep now, I would argue. And there were good players then, too, now. But there's so many of them now.
Well, the actual game is changing, though.
Yeah.
To more even three-point shooting, not as much a big center.
Do you enjoy it better now? I mean, you probably don't remember that game, right? You didn't know that game.
Well, in the 90s, growing up as like Michael Jordan, that era, yeah, I mean, it was different, more defensively, more physical.
Yeah,
but there were a lot of great players.
There's things I miss about that. I do miss some of the physical stuff. I do.
And we don't have everything blasting over social media constantly.
I do miss a post game. Like I do miss dump the ball into Kareem. Kareem spins left, rolls right, sky hook, good. There was that. Now it's what are we seeing? Dudes, teams pump 50 3-point shots a game. It's a high pick and roll. That's the NBA everybody NBA offense, right? High pick and roll.
Well, here's the thing. It's not just the way it's getting played. You have that dude. Look, who was the MVP of this game last year?
Of which game?
The NBA.
It was Jokic.
Who's in the conversation?
Jokic and Embiid. It's two big guys. Yeah.
So if you got the talent,
that's real.
They're going to give you the ball.
Yeah. Very, very fair. 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. I do want to get into Ryan Tannehill. JJ, when we come back, got a phone call or two. JJ is going to explain to you how, while New Mexico United did not get a win last night, they got a gigantic break. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
During Staples, proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated, with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors.
9.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
All right, keep them coming at 505-246-0610. You're really good. Reply to Thomas. Says Gopher. If Devin Durant is so hard to guard, why is he sitting at home watching the tournament like the rest of us? Because they didn't guard anybody.
Did he call him Devin?
He did. Yeah, it says Devin.
Devin to make it funny.
Yeah. Because he and his team guarded nobody. I mean, isn't that part of the equation here?
Absolutely.
Yeah. People are sending me links too. All right, I got more. I'll get to them. New Mexico United 0-0 draw on the pitch. That was the result of the match last night in Sacramento. JJ, they get a point. They don't get a win, but you say they got incredibly lucky yesterday.
Absolutely. Some missed chances, some frustration early for New Mexico United, but in the 86th minute, Sacramento sends a ball in behind United defense. One-on-one, Ford Parker, the keeper, takes down the forward in the box. Gets a yellow card. It was a red card play. It's a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. Would be a straight red for anyone else. Got lucky that it was only a yellow because there's only one goalkeeper on the roster right now for New Mexico United.
So, all right, set this up a little bit.
And then,
so for the layman who doesn't understand yellow, red, so what you're saying is the goalkeeper, the only goalkeeper they had on the team, on the roster, Ford Parker, San Diego High School. He basically took out the legs of a guy, took away a goal-scoring opportunity, and you're saying anybody else, it would have been a red card. A red card is ejection. And
a red card is a flagrant 2.
So it's a flagrant 2. It's an ejection, and New Mexico United already used up all of their subs, so they would not have been able to substitute anybody in. They would have had to take a field player.
They would have been down 2 players, essentially.
Basically 2, because they'd had to put him in goal. And then on the ensuing penalty kick, the Sacramento player goes high, and so they get a second huge break there because they didn't take advantage of the kick.
Lucky. They were lucky to have a draw at the end of that game. So they went from snake bit to a little bit lucky last night to get a point in that game.
So
their starting keeper, Alex Tambakis, is injured. Cody Mizell came in for a few games. It was a very, very short-term loan.
When's Tambakis back?
I don't know. And so you're rolling out there with one goalkeeper, and you're like, hey, did any of y'all play in high school? Because you're our emergency keeper.
I'm not going to kill you, but how do you not have – isn't that like – I watched was it the Carolina-Boston game last night? Yeah, Carolina was down to their third goaltender, and there's like an emergency goaltender sitting in the back in the locker room, eating ribs or something just in case they need them. And we've seen –
Spicy pork
and rice. That's what it was. And so we're watching in hockey playoffs, and I get it's not the playoffs. How do you not have a second keeper? Don't you? Isn't that kind of if something happens? Boy, they got lucky. He didn't get a red card, huh?
Very, very lucky.
All right, two wins, 2 losses, and 3 draws is New Mexico United record on the season. They have not won a match since their second match of the season, which would be on March 19th. They have scored, JJ, in their last 3 USL Championship matches. They have gotten beat 1-0 by Phoenix, 1-0 by San Antonio, and a 0-0 draw against Sacramento. So they've given up only 2 goals in their last 3 matches, but they have scored 0 in their last 3 USL Championship matches. They did score 1 in the match in between the 2-1 loss in the U.S. Open Cup to Phoenix. So if you take the last 4 matches, they've scored 1 goal, but the last 3 USL Championship matches, they've scored 0 goals, none. And that's a problem.
That's not something I thought was going to happen with this team.
Yeah, you told me earlier, look at all the firepower. Yeah. San Diego will be in the ballpark or in the ball pitch this coming Saturday. They'll play San Diego Loyal.
Landon Donovan, manager, San Diego Loyal, coming to town.
A team that's third in the table with 19 points compared to your 9 points. That's a pretty good club that's coming in.
Should be popping. It's been a minute.
Since they've been home?
Yeah.
It'll be the Cinco de Mayo night on Siete de Mayo.
Ooh.
Yeah, Siete de Mayo. So, I mean, you watch them. Are you concerned? It feels like you should be.
Right now, you should be concerned. Because they're going to find themselves in a hole that's going to take a whole lot of incredible soccer late in the season to get it done.
Yeah, you're coming up on a quarter of the way through the season.
You got time.
You got plenty of time. I mean, it's early, but
you're only 2 points out of a playoff spot right now.
Mm-hmm. But you're not scoring any goals. I mean, look, and obviously defensively they've been pretty good, and they're losing
to not be scoring, and they're still +1 in goal differential, like that. They're surviving right now. They're giving themselves a chance to make a push over the next month or so.
Yeah, and they got San Diego and Phoenix coming up. San Diego and Phoenix 3rd and 4th in the table, and how about Colorado Springs still at the top? Well, they turned that thing around 2 years ago. That was the worst team in the league. All right, we can get in on that. I'll reset for you. When we come back, I want to talk about the Ryan Tannehill thing. I am not here to be your mentor. Should a quarterback have to train his replacement? There's a big difference to me between not here to be his mentor, and I'm not here to teach him. I think there's two different things. He can learn from me, but I got thoughts on that. I know you do too. 505-246-0610. That's how to get to us today. Emails Jeff or JJ at sportsanalytq.com. Adrian produces on television on ProView Networks. A. Marie is here in studio. First time she and I have been together in over a week. It's good to see the married A. Marie. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
What it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit CarCrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dreams are stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and
Proud to be a
durable.
Cumulus media station.
Even if they're not that proud of us.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Bond.
All right, good to be back. Hoops is going. Suns took a 2-0 lead over Dallas last night with their win. Miami's up 2-0 over Philly. Golden State and Memphis is fun. The other 2 series are really good. Boston, Milwaukee's really good. Hockey started. Kings got run last night in Edmonton. Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, A-Marie, Adrian. Glad you're with us this morning. I want to get into the Ryan Tannehill conversation, and I'm curious where you guys were on this yesterday. First of all, let me give you this. I don't know if you heard this. Jerry Jones, the Cowboy owner, was involved in a minor car crash last night in Dallas. They say minor. Taken to the hospital, his son Stephen Jones texted ESPN to say he's back home, all is good. There's a story that says, I don't know if he was driving, if he was in a car, but just before around 8:10 last night, near Wolf and Harry Hines Boulevard. You familiar with that, Texas people? JJ loves when I give you like streets. Emergency crews were called to the scene. There was a crash. Jones had minor injuries, was taken to the hospital. He's 79 years old. Police said they don't give the names of people involved in crashes unless there's a fatality. So they know it doesn't matter who the other people are. So Jerry Jones was in an accident. He's okay, Cowboy fan. So or supposedly okay.
Well, what is so fascinating about street names is there's not many things that can connect people, like when you drop like a corner that they grew up on.
Totally.
Or they used to hang out at.
Yep.
Like if someone came up to me and was like, do you remember Carr Street in Arvada? I'd be like, oh my gosh. We just became best friends.
When Lee Marks, who was the interim head coach for Fresno State in the New Mexico Bowl last year, now he's on the staff up in Washington, the Kalen DeBoer staff. But when we started talking about where he grew up, and he's like, he told me, oh yeah, I was over kind of like Reseda and Oxnard. I'm like, dude, I was like 6 blocks away up the street on Reseda Boulevard in Collins, and he's like, no way. And we went to the same high school, and it was like,
man.
boom, now it just connects you.
Nothing like a good street corner.
Yeah, or if you're in New York, where Friendly's is over there by the BP
Friendly's?
station. Yeah, it's by the BP station, the bagel shop. Bagels.
Yeah.
It's bagels. It's not bagels. It's bagels. Bagels. All right, Ryan Tannehill said that he has been in therapy since the loss. Ryan Tannehill is an easy target because he's not a flashy quarterback. He's been a good quarterback for the Titans. He got them to the number 1 seed. Well, I will tell you, he had a big part in getting them to the number 1 seed in the AFC last year. When Derrick Henry went down, I would say, if not all of you, 90% of you said, they're done. Well, they were done because they lost their first round of the playoffs. But he got them to the number 1 seed. Got them the only bye in the AFC playoffs. You know what didn't have a bye in the AFC playoffs? The Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs. None of them had byes in the playoffs. The Cincinnati Bengals didn't have a bye. Now, Ryan Tannehill didn't play well. They lost 19-16 to the Bengals. Bengals went on to the Super Bowl. Tannehill said it's a deep scar. Every time I close my eyes, I kind of rewatch the game. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep for weeks. I was in a dark place. It took me a while, a lot of work to get out of it, end quote. He's been going to therapy. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think he played a bad game. I don't know what you guys think, but now, do I think he's a great quarterback? No. I think he's
safe. He's good.
Okay. He said after the Titans drafted Malik Willis, quote, Malik Willis is a quarterback, by the way, from Liberty, who they drafted last week. I don't think it's my job to mentor him, but if he learns from me along the way, that's a great thing. End quote. Do you have a problem with that?
Okay. So initially, my reaction to Ryan Tannehill was, that's a dude that's nervous. That's a dude that's on edge, which I get it. Being the number 1 seed, playing a terrible game.
It was bad.
Against Cincinnati, then talking about how long it took you to get over it. My initial thought was, that's a dude that's really nervous. But you kind of take a step back throughout the day, and then you hear NFL players talk about it. Because I think a statement like that resonates differently from the fans to the players.
Yep.
I think a lot of fans are going to be like, get over yourself. Just you're not there to be a mentor. No, just be a good teammate. But a lot of players have the mindset of course. Like, this is a business. It's not for long. Put your big boy pants on. Show up to work. You don't have to be buddy-buddy. You just have to be a good teammate. And so what Ryan Tannehill said, I think, is actually the thoughts of a lot of NFL players.
I don't have a problem with it. First of all, Ryan Tannehill's dealing with his own bleep, right? His job is not to deal with Malik Willis's bleep. Okay, that's first and foremost. Secondly, he didn't say, I'm going to be a jerk to this guy. I'm not going to help him. I'm not going to be a teammate. Let me ask you this. I want you to think of what I
think people are taking out of context. It's not like what he said, it's how he said it almost. And if he won, no one would even care about this.
Okay.
Because Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, all those other guys who win and whatnot.
Well, you bring up some really good points on a couple of places. First of all, Aaron Rodgers was treated that way. Brett Favre, I'm not going to mentor this guy. Did we ever kill Brett Favre for saying I'm not going to mentor? And then when Aaron Rodgers did the same exact thing to Jordan Love, how many people had a problem with that? It's happened constantly. Let me ask you, no matter what you do, okay, no matter, pick your profession, put yourself in your spot, and they bring in a guy that is brought in to take your job. Okay? You know that they brought here, train him so I can get rid of you. How you feeling? How you feeling about it? Now, he's my teammate. First of all, let me tell you this. Malik Willis is no threat to Ryan Tannehill right now.
He's not.
Okay? Malik Willis was what, a 3rd-round pick? 4th-round pick? Where'd they find him?
3rd round.
Okay. 3rd-round pick out of Liberty. Now maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's Russell Wilson as a 3rd-round pick and goes in and he starts opening day. I would bet my mortgage against it. But I could be wrong. I've lost my mortgage before. All right? Ryan Tannehill's job is to do Ryan Tannehill's job. Part of that job is to work with his backup. Ryan Tannehill, I'm going to guess, and I don't know Ryan Tannehill. When they sit in that quarterback room, he's going to study with Malik Willis, and he's going to help him read. He's going to work with him. He's going to help him become a better quarterback. And as you said, if he learns something, that's great. Are we killing Aaron Rodgers for not mentoring Jordan Love? Did we beat the hell out of Brett Favre for not mentoring Aaron Rodgers? But why? Because Ryan Tannehill's not the stature of them? He should say, here, let me train you so they can get rid of me in a year and a half?
My mindset changed on that throughout the day yesterday.
Okay.
Because initially I was like, get over yourself, Ryan Tannehill. Like, there's better ways to be a teammate than having to drop. I'm not here to mentor anybody. Like, it's a quarterback room, bro. Like,
right.
I think we all be a good teammate, but it came across as really defensive.
I don't know. Was it a response to a question? Was it an answer?
First reaction.
Yeah.
But then I took a step back. I'm like, all right, what I do is listen, and then what do kind of pro athletes have to say about it? And a lot of them are like, guys, this is nothing. I was like, okay, I get that. From the mindset of being in that locker room, going to work, showing up, having to do your job.
Let me ask you this. Let's say they brought somebody in next week, some young buck who's going to be cheaper than you, right? And they said, hey, and I know how I would feel if they said, bring someone in who's going to be younger, cheaper than me, and say, I want you to mentor him to work with JJ, for when you're not here. Okay. So how am I supposed to feel about that? Like, I'm secure in what I do and how I do it. But if you're bringing somebody in specifically to take my job, and that's what that is, how would you feel? Teach them how to work with Jeff and Marie.
We said it,
and how you
said
do
it
your
yesterday.
research.
I was like, I'm not holding back show notes from Marie. Like,
He did say that.
Yeah, but how would you want to mentor that person? You would work with that person.
I think that's it. It's
There's a
business,
difference.
It's a job. It's work.
I don't know if I've been a mentor to you or not. You and I have worked together for 9-ish, 10 years, whatever. And I've gone out of my way to do anything I can, I hope, to help you. You're not a threat to me. I don't think I'm a threat to you, right? But there's we were brought together to work together. It's a difference if somebody is brought in to take your job. I'll work with that person. I will be professional. I will work with that person. I will share. I will be a teammate. But is it my job to mentor him to take my job so I can be on the street? I mean, that's not his job. Paul, good morning to you.
Good morning. I was just want to jump in on this topic that you guys are on right now, and you look back at nice guys like Drew Bledsoe, for instance. I mean, he went above and beyond.
Yeah.
Just mentoring Brady and helping him out. And what happened as soon as he got hurt, that was it. Look at Tannehill. Tannehill's coming. Usually situations like this happen when a person is struggling at some point. And look at Tannehill when he got bounced out of the playoffs. Sure enough, they were probably going to go this route if somebody was available. And do I agree in helping him? Absolutely not. There's no way. You look at guys like Aaron Rodgers and even Steve McNair. Those guys had no help whatsoever. Those old vets that were ahead of them, Favre and Chris Chandler, guys like that, they wanted nothing to do with these guys. But you know what? It's up to those coaches and that staff. You gotta, if you really want this young kid to take it to that next level, then you need to have someone in place that's going to be able to mentor him and help him and teach him the game as well. I mean, it's even in my industry. I've been a medical rep for 16 years, and they send me young kids straight out of college and wanting me to give my secrets out, and there's absolutely no way I'm going to do it. Why? So they can come and kick me out, take my job?
That's right.
Absolutely not.
You'll help them be good. You'll teach them the business, and that's fine. Yeah. That's all part of the professionalism of what you do. I will be a teammate. I'm going to help you understand. I'm going to teach you the ropes. But am I going to like give you every bit of my secret sauce? I'm just not.
No, there's no way. There's no way. And it's the little things that make a difference. But like I said, it's just helping them along and teach him. I don't see a problem with that. I know Tannehill will help the guy out. Hey, Rook, this is what you're supposed to do.
Right.
This is what you shouldn't be doing. Things like that. But no
now
way.
Go pick up my suitcase. Go get my
completely agree with
suitcase.
Tannehill.
Grab the bag of balls and clean up after practice. Yeah.
Go get my McMuffin in the morning.
Exactly
yeah.
right.
There you
And
go.
I like
But
my
anyway,
coffee
you
with one
guys
cream.
Take care, okay?
Yeah, be well, Paul. Yeah, get my coffee. I like it with one cream.
Also, was anyone else surprised that the Titans drafted a quarterback?
A little bit,
Okay,
but not really. But not really. I mean, look.
I mean, it
that's
wasn't
a
like I
value
was like,
pick.
whoa.
If you like him and he's sitting there, that's
Yeah.
a value pick.
They were
You're
probably
going-
like, whoa, he's available.
All right, who was their backup? Do you know?
Oh gosh, you do. I
Kevin
looked up his-
Hogan and
Kevin
someone else.
Hogan.
There's
and,
your answer.
Yeah. This was totally.
We
and-
looked this up yesterday.
And it's the thing too is you got to ask every player, every quarterback. Did they
Oh,
tell you that
stop it.
they were going to
Stop
draft this
it.
person? No.
Stop
This is not Aaron Rodgers' situation. Ryan Tannehill is not that established. So you're not going to be like, hey, Ryan, we're taking a quarterback. I don't believe Tennessee even thought they were going to take Malik Willis. I bet there was zero
And then there he
talk
is, and they looked around the room and go,
that Malik Willis was going to be drafted by the Tennessee Titans. Because we thought this dude was going to go in the first round. And if not, we're like, he's going to be the first pick of the second round. And then all of a sudden he's sitting in the third round. And one of these teams is just going to look around going,
it's value.
Should we do it? Like, why the heck not now? And that's what Tennessee did. Of course, they weren't prepared to take.
Can't agree with
Malik
you more.
Willis.
I think that's 100% out. I think they looked around the room and like, hey, you're sitting there.
It's all right, right?
We
You
got
need
him
backup.
drafted. He's the highest guy we got rated on our board, right? Probably was the highest guy on our board by far. And
Like, we know Ryan's good. He's going to start, so let's go.
yeah, but let's get a backup. And Ryan's contract's up in 2 years, and he just kind of did come off a crappy game. And he's been in therapy. What if he doesn't get his head right? I mean, what are we going to they didn't bring him in to be the starting quarterback. This was the number 1 seed in the AFC last year. This is a really good football team. And by the way, they were the number 1 seed in the AFC, and they played half the season without Derrick Henry. So Ryan Tannehill's not garbage. They didn't bring him in to be the quarterback tomorrow. But they're thinking maybe in a year and a half, 2 years, he might be our guy.
I know you can't miss opportunities like that.
No, that's what that was. 505-246-0610. Opening drives on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Jim Rome Show.
I know there are a whole lot of people who are getting
Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco. For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or
He says
4914
this is one
Lomas
of the most
Northeast.
popular
Clark's
OD
Pet Emporium
questions.
is
Could it
celebrating
have
50
an
years.
answer?
Thank
Remember
you,
when Steve
Albuquerque,
Alford
the
recruited
Pet
Drew
Supply
Gordon
Superstore.
without an available
ClarksPets.com.
Matt Staff said he got so homesick he had to leave immediately. Do you remember Matt Staff? I'm not sure I do. Well, that was 2022. Matt Staff could at least finish out the year. Alford could tell Gordon to walk on, and the New Mexico Bowl would cover his scholarship. Then, when Drew walks into his post-game presser, he'd be wearing a New Mexico Bowl cap and sweatshirt. Mean Machine. Yes, that is true. The way the NIL thing is going, yes. So you could find a company. Well, he's a walk-on. He's just another student on campus. And, oh, look, he's really good, and he was a 5-star recruit, but he's a walk-on. That's what Dave Bliss got in trouble for back at Baylor, right? He was covering, allegedly, I think it was Patrick Dennehy's tuition. And there was a bag man. What? Why are you laughing at me?
I think we can take out allegedly with anything involving Dave Bliss.
Well, but that was, remember, that's how the rules have changed, right? That's where this thing got all sideways. And they were, well, now Dave Bliss wouldn't know how to do it. He could have given it to the car dealer down the street and say, hey, you pay for his tuition, and he'll send out 3 tweets. Go see Cal.
How many
go see Cal.
car salesmen or car dealerships that are listening right now? Just like,
yeah, I'm not doing this.
Well, like, who do these guys think we are? Have you seen our car lots?
And so and that's always the easy. That's the default booster thing, right? Go to the car dealership.
We don't even have cars to sell anymore.
Literally had this conversation with an athletic director 2 days ago about car dealership. He says our biggest car dealer wants no part of it. He thinks it's bad for his business. He thinks that it's going to cost him business to get involved in the NIL thing. Interesting how different markets view it differently, right?
There's a Tesla dealership around.
Well,
that stock took a hit with Twitter acquisition.
The whole NIL thing. I mean, to tell you, it's bonkers. Are you ready for the Derby? Are you going to watch the Kentucky Derby? It's coming up. You'll bet the Derby. You'll bet anything.
We're betting
right?
the Derby.
All right. Have you been watching, looking at the sheet? You know who you like yet?
No, I just usually pick the name I like.
That's cute.
I know.
All right. You got to bet Mike Smith, don't you?
Mike Smith could become the oldest jockey ever to win
that?
the Derby.
That's amazing.
New Mexico's own.
Oh,
so
then I'm
the last 2 times he's won the Derby, he's been on with us on Monday, right? I believe.
Did get a chance to speak with
him. Oh yeah, I know. He's terrific. From Dexter, New Mexico. Do you know that?
No, I didn't.
That's right. That's right. He wins the Derby all the time. All the time. And what else do I have on here? Oh, Leroy Barella.
Ooh, dark horses. I love these.
Leaving the girls at El Dorado, becoming the new head basketball coach at Albuquerque High. Called it a special job. So good on him. Did you see the latest twist in the Brittany Griner saga?
No.
So former New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson is now working on behalf of Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner is the WNBA star who is being detained in Russia. She is in jail in Russia. The United States feels, the State Department says she's being wrongfully detained. She was leaving, she's playing basketball there, making a living. She had hashish oil. And that is a big no-no in Russia. And so was detained going through, I guess, through security or through customs, however they got her. And so the State Department announced that it's considered Griner to be wrongfully detained in Russia. And Bill Richardson has been brought in to negotiate it. Look, I don't care what you think of Bill Richardson politically. I'm not going to get into the political game. He is a brilliant negotiator, okay? He has gotten hostages released. I mean, he sat with Saddam Hussein face-to-face. He's got hostages released from North Korea. This would be the guy, if my daughter was being detained in Russia, I would go to him and say, hey, I need some help. And again, whatever your political, I honestly don't care. To me, this is one piece that's inarguable. He's as good as we've seen in our generation of going. He's not affiliated directly with the government. He's not an elected official, and his track record speaks for itself. Now, is he 100% on it? I don't know. I don't think so. But it sounds to me like he's the best that there is in the world, and certainly in our country, at negotiating hostage releases and getting detainees released and American citizens back to the United States. And so the family has gone and reached out to Governor Richardson. And I would bet on him in this situation. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, and that's why, they're looking at the situation differently, because it came about 6 days before Russia invaded Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And so, okay, they did find the oil in her luggage, but
it is kind of on her.
It's on her to be in that situation. But then as things escalated politically, that's how it feels like. And now she's become kind of like a bargaining chip potentially.
Well,
in all of this,
I guess the way I'm reading this and the way I understand it, the penalty for this sort of an offense in Russia, and it was at the Moscow. It was an airport in Moscow. She had vape cartridges with oils made from cannabis and hashish. Up to 10 years in prison. And again, you don't have any rights. You're an American citizen in Russia. You don't have. Here you have rights. You don't have rights there. And if that's the way it is, that's their laws. That's their laws. Ignorance is not a defense. I didn't know. I didn't. Sorry. Now, I'm not telling you she should be detained for 10 years. I think it's ridiculous. But now I've heard, well, this is on the WNBA. This is on the NBA for making us go over there and make money. And no. This is on her for doing this, right? For having this and trying to get it through. Now, that doesn't mean she should be detained for 10 years. It doesn't mean she should be detained for 36 days, for crying out loud. I don't know. All I know is this isn't just, if it's right, if she did in fact have these cartridges, there is some culpability on her part. Now, how do we get her out of there? Bill Richardson has helped secure the release of Trevor Reed. That's the former Marine who was held in Russia. Governor Richardson was in on that. He'd been held in Russia for 2 years on those assault charges that his family and certainly people who knew it said were trumped up, that were fake. So last week, the U.S. swapped a Russian pilot who was serving a sentence on cocaine trafficking for him. Governor Richardson was in on that. Let's see where this goes. But I'm going to tell you, if my daughter's over there, if you're somebody you love, wouldn't this be the guy that you want helping you?
Yes.
So it's kind of crazy, man. I mean, how worlds collide. I mean, Bill Richardson and Brittany Griner. And we'll see. But I found it interesting, certainly with a local twist on it. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Emails come in this morning, as they do every morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Went away for a couple of days. IPS watched my house. In fact, Monday was garbage day. They rolled the garbage cans right back to where they belong. They came by a couple times a day, saw them on the security cameras. Appreciate them coming by. Asked, are you expecting any deliveries? We ordered a couple of prom dresses for Addie. Wouldn't want those lifted off of the porch. They didn't show up. They should. Well, I'm not going to tell you when they're showing up, but they would have picked those up if that's gold now. Those better show up because, well, that's coming up soon. They watch my home. They provide security for homes and businesses around Albuquerque because crime is on the upswing. Officer shortage continues, and Aaron Jones and IPS care about making this town safer, a better place to live and to work. And so that's why years ago I called IPS to secure my home. You can as well. Aaron's passionate about making Albuquerque a better safe to live and work by watching your home and business with highly trained armed guards and 24-hour patrols. Committed to this city, committed to your protection. See what IPS can do for you. Give them a call at area code 505-897-2420. That's 505-897-2420, or visit them online at ipsglobal.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
OD in your AM. What's good to you? Sacramento 0, New Mexico United 0. 0-0 draw on the pitch was the result last night. Is that all correct?
That is correct.
JJ says they didn't get a win, but they got a big break, did New Mexico United last night. And so were you stunned it wasn't a red card? When your goaltender just took the guy out going in for a scoring opportunity and takes out his legs?
Yes.
Yeah. What were I wasn't watching at that point. What were the Sacramento Republic announcers saying? Were they a little...
Well, they weren't losing their heads, but they were just realized with everyone else how lucky Ford Parker was to only get a yellow card and not a red card in that situation.
Yeah. Ford Parker being, of course,
And he's the only goalkeeper on the roster right now.
See, that's where it would have got interesting. Tell me you didn't want to see that. Tell me you kind of didn't want to see it.
All at that point in time.
Who would it have been?
That's a good question.
Well, it would have been a defender, right? I mean, let's just say Yearwood or somebody goes.
I don't know. I probably would have been one of the midfielders.
So do they have to change the kit out?
And just pack in? Yeah.
So or just take off his shirt, give him a different color.
Yeah,
top, and then the first thing he would have faced was a penalty kick that sails over the crossbar. About that. I mean, they could have gotten no points yesterday, but they get out of there with a point. All right, so we've been there. We've been talking about the Ryan Tannehill situation. I'm really curious where you all are on Tannehill. Do you feel like, was he in the right? Was he right? Was he wrong? Ryan is a head case, says the text line. Okay, maybe he is. Who also says, when does JJ replace you, Jeff? Any day now.
No.
Any day
no
now.
No one wants that. Trust me. No one.
Is Ryan a head case? I don't know, man. Let me. So what do you think about Ryan Tannehill coming out and making it public that he was dealing with the mental health issues, that he went to therapy, that he had such a horrible game, that he's had nightmares about it, that he hasn't slept? This concerns me about him moving forward. This is DJ Peterson getting hit in the face, and how long does it take you to get back into the box kind of stuff. Not as dramatic, but a different kind of a dramatic.
Yeah, that
he went out in his biggest game.
Biggest question.
Right? Does he question himself in his biggest game on his biggest stage? And the fact that the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, he's probably just going, are you kidding me? I gave away the game that we lose by 3 points to the team that went to the Super Bowl and lost by a touchdown. Like, there's got to be something there. And so how do you feel about him going public with it?
I don't mind it because I think these are stuff that it's not taboo. There's legitimate hurdles that even athletes have to get over, and I think that there's still a mindset with everybody that if you're struggling with something, you're soft, just suck it up, put some dirt on it. Like, there's a reason that there's sports psychologists.
Yeah.
You get the yips. You got things to get over. Like, it happens.
So is the yips or is it one game? And I don't know the answer yet.
And so that's what we don't know. And so after, the comments comes out, like, that to me, when it's all said and done, is the thing that, all right, is Ryan Tannehill going to lock back in? Because what he described was
concerning.
A very, very concerning play. Like, he sounded like a dude that just lost $100,000 on that game and went into a spiral for weeks afterwards.
Well, he probably lost incentive money. So here, Ryan Tannehill last year had a 67.2% completion rate. He threw for 3,700 yards, 21 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He ran for another 7. Did you know he ran for 7 touchdowns? He ran for 7 touchdowns last year. Not a great year, not a horrible year. He had a good year, and I would tell you, I upgraded okay to good because his team was the number 1 seed. So that makes me say he had a good year. His stats were fine. They're average. But he had a good year because he led that team to the number 1 seed in the AFC. He had a horrendous playoff game. Yeah, I worry about it. I would worry about a guy bouncing back. Absolutely, I would. John, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How's it going?
Life's grooving. What's happening?
I just have a comment about Ryan Tannehill. I wish he would have just kept his comments to himself. And, we all feel for people, and there's that saying that be careful how you treat or talk because you don't know what they're going through.
Yeah.
Right? And so be nice, just like what you say at the end of every show, caring, sharing, loving, and all that. But I just wish Ryan would have just kept that to himself and been a little bit more diplomatic about Malik Willis. I mean, the guy looks to be like the best quarterback of the draft. In fact, I thought Pittsburgh was going to take him at number 20.
Me too.
I did. I really did. And that's what I had heard from Pittsburgh friends of mine. But, I all the best to Ryan. I hope he gets together. And he's going to have to help out Malik whether he wants to or not. It's just part of the way it works.
Well, it's going to be by proxy. I mean, they're going to be in the same room. They're going to work together every day. He's going to, and he didn't say I'm going to be a jerk to him. He didn't say I'm not going to help him. He says it's not my job to be a mentor. A mentor is a lot different than someone I work with that I help. Right? I can teach someone the job. Mentorship goes way beyond what's being done at the office, or in this case, in the locker room, in the meeting rooms. And I think what he's saying is it's not my job to walk him through life of an NFL quarterback.
I totally agree with you. When I didn't think Tennessee was going to draft him at all.
They probably didn't either.
They say, oh, looky here, best player on the board. Well, that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
When you already have your needs filled, and then when you're getting down in the later rounds, you take the best player on the board, and it happened to be Malik Willis. I think, he has the potential, that big P word. He's got it all. And, you know, he's got the right attitude. He's got the physical skills. And, you know, Ryan Tannehill may be afraid, especially after the way that he did play against the Bengals. But I just wish he would have kept things closer to the vest and just work on himself and let us be fans of football instead of, you know, wiping the tears away of Tannehill because he's got issues. We all have issues in our lives. So, anyway, that's all I have
That's
to say
good,
about
John. Appreciate you. So I wonder if it's part of the therapy. Does the therapist say, hey, then it's okay for you to explain this to the media?
And that's also, I think, what part of the challenge in this conversation is someone like, we all have issues. Why do I care about your issues?
Mhm.
Well, I think part of what you just said is talking about it, showing, yes, it's okay to have issues and get help.
Well, I think that's what we've learned through mental health becoming more acceptable in the mainstream is talking about it and letting people know and being open about it is part of the process. And so to John's point, you know, I wish he would have kept it to himself. I get that, but this could be part of it. Do you know the context in which he said this? Was he asked about Malik Willis specifically? Are you know, will you mentor him? Will you help him? Or was this an answer to a question, or did he just come out and because I'm going to guess it was the former, but we never get the context on this. We only just get the response. Because when John says, I wish he would have kept it to himself, was he answering a question? Hey, will you mentor Malik Willis? Oh, it's not my job to mentor him. I mean, then you kind of feel differently than, so did you know they were going to draft Malik Willis? No, I didn't. You know, I was surprised, and, you know, it's not my job. I'm not going to mentor this kid. You know,
That's
totally
important. Like,
different.
what is he responding to?
I want the context. That'll certainly help define how I feel about this. Don't you feel that way?
It helps. Like, what got him down that road?
Yeah. How did we get to that comment? Because I don't know the answer, and I think it would help me understand it a bit. All right, let's take the final break of the morning. Cinco de Mayo. You guys got big Cinco plans? Is this a big holiday for you guys?
I mean, I think it's fun. Usually have a margarita, but I'll be performing at Brew Labs tonight, actually.
You're performing tonight? I thought it was
And tomorrow. No, 2 shows in a row. I'm so excited.
2 different sets or same set?
2 different sets. I'm doing something very different tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I've been rusty. I haven't performed in a month tonight, and then tomorrow.
Well, take a ride on us.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Listen to the
No, I'm
commercial and
recovering from Vegas.
Cinco 22. Put it into your Uber app, and we'll pay for your ride. We've partnered with whoever.
I'll spread the
Burley
word, but
whatever.
Vegas killed me. I'm dead.
You're soft. It's Thursday.
I am not soft.
You should be back by now.
No.
I had a pretty tough.
Came back
run, too,
Tuesday.
now.
I came back Tuesday.
I might have been a little warbly when I was on with you guys Tuesday morning. You know, All right, we'll wrap it up when we come back. Go to the phones. Still open for you at 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Order of ProView Networks.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico
like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing.
All right, let's wrap you up strong. No boys today, says Gus. How does it's a doubleheader? How does the strategy change when the Albuquerque baseball team sprints for the first time in 2022? 7-inning games. How does the strategy change, JJ? I don't know. Get runs early. Don't wait till the 8th and 9th because there's no 8th and 9th. That's the strategy change. No?
Yes.
Just saying.
Yeah, 4 innings less potentially.
All right. We already got you that one. No winter. What did I talk about? No winter. Oh, Arizona. Gopher says, it sounds nice, Jeffy, especially when it's May and it's still winter here. What the hell was last night? You don't know how tempted I was to crank up the heat last night. It was chilly. I got off the plane. It was like a little different than the 95 in Arizona. I didn't mind it, though. Not going to lie. You guys, when it's you're going to get this run of 98, 98, 98, 98. You're going to wish you had some of this again. Just saying.
Seriously.
I'm just saying.
Did you golf?
Hello, Terry.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, JJ. Good morning, A. Murray.
Oh, gosh. So
from
many
the
names.
island of Misfit Toys. Glad to hear you all. I love how all fans, but not all fans, a significant amount are like Goldilocks. If somebody like Brady doesn't say something, they're mad, and now Tannehill actually says something.
That's right.
Why did he say something? It never make anybody happy. It's too now I'm one wanting the NIL to play out. My son's actually the recruiting coordinator at his high school in Texas, and he's getting to hear the stories as the schools learn that, oh, yeah, player, I just want a scholarship, and the minute they offer him a scholarship, what about this other NIL? So I think it will play out over a couple of years. It'll go too far, hopefully get brought back when people realize they're giving out money that maybe doesn't pay off. But I do wish the Olympic sports people that they can get a little something, because I know a lot of people don't know they're not usually not full scholarships. My daughter was lucky to have a full scholarship, but they'll go anywhere from books up to maybe they pay half or 40%. And part of recruiting was once you go to one school and they say, well, we'll pay half of it. And we were kind of like, well, I think you need to pick one of these schools that's going to pay it all. So maybe the money can come into play and help them out. And we had one story up there. We would take athletes out to eat, and she was an Olympic quality athlete, and she wouldn't come because there was that stupid rule about if you go to dinner with somebody more than once, you could get in trouble. And most athletes said they're not going to come after us, but she was just scared to death of that. So I hope some of that nonsense goes away. And people like Bryce Young, if Bryce Young was eligible, and I know it's an NFL rule, but Bryce Young would have been a top 5 pick if he could have come out this year. So, maybe things could be adjusted that way with the NFL, that kids maybe could come out after 2 years, maybe not. But from that standpoint, we'll move on. And from the NBA, yes, I mean, clotheslining somebody, to me, dirty plays are, hitting somebody in the crotch and a little bit like that. That was vicious, what happened in that Warriors game. And I know the Warriors, they said they're not going to do anything now, but I wonder about the first game next year in the regular season, because that was just way over the top. But you guys have a wonderful day. As always, like I said, enjoy the show. Hopefully I've outlived my flagrant 2 punishment. So you guys take care. Be safe. Bye-bye.
I would argue that it's already at the Olympic sports level if we've got Heather Dyke saying that she's lost recruits to NIL, right?
I mean, benefits. So, yes.
Right. Can I throw a model at you? It will not happen. So I hear all the time, there's billions of dollars, and these fat cats are making billions of dollars, right? Okay. And then you have every school. And I've told you this, and it bears out. Between 16 and 22% each year, athletic departments operate in the black. Everybody else is operating at a deficit. So where's the money going? Well, obviously it's top heavy. Now, we'll never get here, okay? I tell you this with full understanding that it can happen because they're not going to share. But what if you revenue shared X percentage of that, the television money, okay? I read the other day the Big 10 is looking to get $1 billion television deal wrapped up by this summer. If you took X number of those dollars, I don't know what the number would be, and put it into a revenue sharing pool and paid the athletes, and it would have to be across the board evenly because of NIL, okay? I'm sorry, because of Title IX, and said, what would be a comfortable number to pay student athletes? Would it be $25,000 a year? Would it be $50,000 a year? I don't know how many. And I understand we'd be talking millions of dollars. I'm well aware of that. But if you said you get paid percentage-wise by your scholarship, so like if you've got let's say a full share is, let's just say $50,000. And full scholarship athletes will get $50,000 a year. Is it pay to play? You can call it cost of living. You can call it whatever you want. If you're a half scholarship athlete, you get $25,000, right? You get percentage-wise. I don't think you can reel the NIL thing in, but would that help eliminate it? Would that put you on a relatively level playing field?
Like, these are the things that you have to start throwing out there because, as you said, who are they? What are you even trying to reel in? And then who's going to have those conversations?
Well, and who's going to
So what you're laying out is like, okay, now let's...
Well, here's the billions of dollars.
Framework.
And look, right? Alabama SC techs are going, hell no, I'm not sharing it. Well, come on, man. Like you're selling out your stadium at 100,000 people at $200 a ticket. You're still going to have the advantages. Well, what about NIL? Then could you start clamping down on NIL, putting caps on it, and saying you actually have to do something, perform a duty for the compensation, the way it was intended to be? To me, that's a start, right? We're going to take X percentage of the television money. You're still going to make each school $30 million a year. But we're going to carve, I don't know, man. Is it $10 million per deal? And we find we got 10 conferences. Well, you can't do that there. It would have to be percentage-wise. But let's say you found $100 million that you were able to carve off of these TV deals, and that's a lot of money. And I'm just throwing vague numbers at you. I don't know exactly how many. I mean, JJ, what's 130 times? Let's just say the average student athletes on campus. How many do they have? 400, 500, 450? 130 schools times 100. Let's just say 450. That's 58,500 student athletes times 50,000. Well, that's a lot of money. All right, you'd have to go back. You'd have to make it 20 grand. All right, so that's still over $1 billion. Yeah, I don't know that works either. This is where everybody tells me all the money. There's all this money. There's all this money. Where's all the money? Don't you ever wonder that? When you listen to the people who just love to stir it up, who don't want to get into the nuts and bolts of it, the ones who just scream, they're getting fat all the time. There's billions of dollars, and if you those.
Well, we can point out where the money is.
It's in facilities and salaries.
And we know who has that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's your answer to that question.
Yeah, I'm just throwing out ideas, man, because I've listened to a lot of opinions, and everybody comes from it a little bit different angle, but everybody I've spoken with is in the same place ultimately in regards to this. There's a problem. They got to figure it out. Who the hell is they? Good stuff today. Good to be back.
Glad to have you back.
Want to do it tomorrow? Want to hoe tomorrow?
Yes, Friday.
All right. Enjoy the hoops and the hockey tonight. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowher's out. What time do we got baseball today?
3:30. It's a doubleheader.
3:30 baseball in Oklahoma City with Josh Sushan. And then we're back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. with award-winning radio for you starting then. Adrian, great work on the television side. Marie, that was the first time I've worked with you as a married woman.
Oh,
and you know what?
boy.
I don't know that it was that different.
No. Phones were going crazy today. We got to get some numbers out there.
All right. Big day for you?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will see you tomorrow.
Cleaner energy.
Are you 50 years or older? The New Mexico Department of Health recommends that
resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
This game was scheduled for 9 a.m. and we rescheduled it to the afternoon. Can Dalton Shpilka stay alive? Oh, that one's a little long. And that does it. Game, set, and match in favor of Cameron King.
2-2 pitch. That's well hit. It might be trouble. No. Sliding catch and right by Noah Morlock.
That's a hit past the pitcher. And just like that, we'll have another runner come in. And wow, just like that. La Cueva strikes again as Melania Macias comes in.
Oh, 2. Line to second for the double play. Leadoff base runner erased. He was straying a little far on a line shot to the shortstop long, and he turns and tosses it to Padilla for the double play. What?
The second serve from Boson is in.
cross-court action going on at this point, and it pays off for both.
Make a play. There is the bunt, popped it up again. Long run, Cooper, and he's going to make the play. Catchers showing off their leather in this one. I'm out of it. In off the hands, right at Karras. He's going to short hop, scoop that, and turn the double play, maybe. Yes!
Whoa.
Double play! Karras let that one drop, and then a really tough hop. He certainly did that on purpose.
Wow, that's a shot. Wow, that'll do it. Oh my gosh. Man, a shot to center field over the fence for Genesis Jaramillo. And that's it, man. 10-0. Bears with the hot bats right now.